Yep. Hey, good morning, Facebook friends, and good afternoon if you're coming in from the UK. We are so excited to be here today, Paul and myself and Crystal. Crystal's going to be our special guest, but Paul Bursey and I are, sponsoring this Healthier Life TV. Hopefully you guys are finding some value out of it so far. We are just getting fired up, though. So, Paul, are you excited about today, what we can deliver to our folks?
Absolutely, and I'm excited that I can go off camera.
Hey, that's not fair. Yeah, yeah. So we have a special guest, Crystal, today,
Yeah.
and I think she's still trying to get plugged in. Looks like she might be frozen. So
Hear me?
you're cutting in and out a little bit, Crystal.
Well,
Okay. While we're trying to get things sorted for the microphone, anyone obviously that's on now, and we hope there are lots of people, and I haven't looked yet, but what we want to do is we want to cover different aspects of health, wellness, and fitness over the coming weeks and months that you want to hear about. So if you've got any requests, just send a message through our website, through our Facebook website.
Yeah, it sounds perfect,
with that,
Paul. Yep, sounds great, because we're going to cover, all kinds of different interesting topics. So hopefully we can hit on things. And hey, Paul, maybe I'll kick you out of the room, and maybe that will help Crystal. Is that okay if I remove you and
Sounds good.
We'll see if that makes a difference.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. If not, I'll bring you back in. Hey, Crystal, we'll see if that makes a difference with just the two of us, because, everybody in the world is trying to use the internet nowadays. So we had to kick off the guest, and I can bring him back in at the end. So let's hear you say something to see if we can hear you a little bit better.
all right. So can you hear me now?
Yeah, very good. Yay. Awesome. So I'll start off. I met Crystal. It's been just a little bit over a year ago, and she's been such an amazing blessing in my life. And I'm sure I found her on Facebook. I'm sure she was talking about her project that she was getting ready to launch of Hotworx, and I was extremely intrigued. And I went for my free workout, and kind of the rest is history. I've helped her do some promoting of her studio, and we've just had a great time getting to know each other. And she is super passionate about health and wellness and positive attitude, and she's always smiling. And seriously, I've missed her, because we can't, in our interesting times, this is how we get to connect. And infrared, I'll let her talk about her story, but it really made a huge difference in my life. I was recovering from some injuries and having a hard time getting to certain classes that I liked. And man, that infrared is like magic. And I just love the whole concept. And Crystal has been in the fitness industry for a really long time. But I'll let her kind of dive in. And then if you guys have any questions for myself or Crystal as we're going through, our conversation here, because we're having fun. We're having coffee with each other this morning. We're sharing our stories. We're sharing our passion, because I personally believe that as we share not only our strengths, our weakness, our hopes, our dreams, our aspirations, our fall down in the dark hole, as we just share people about our life, it just gives so much hope to others, and it gives them maybe some courage to step out of their comfort zone. It also sparks their curiosity of like, if Crystal can do that, oh man, their wheels start spinning. So that's why I'm so passionate about interviewing folks on our Healthier TV show, so we can just open that door of curiosity and learn. And then you're going to pick, what works for you, and you're going to run with it. And Terry, thanks for joining us today. So Crystal, I'm going to turn it over to you, and, just share a little bit about yourself and, how you got on this fitness journey.
Good deal. So good morning, everybody. All the way live from my office. Home office, that is. So, my name is Crystal Wiley, and I am the franchise owner of Hotworx, the 24-hour infrared sauna studio here in Wichita, Kansas. My fitness journey started probably about 15 or so years ago. At that time I was married. You have kids, you get comfortable. Took a vacation, had somebody snap a picture of me on the beach because I thought I was super cute. came home, got those pictures developed, and I did not look so cute. And so I just decided to make some really, drastic lifestyle changes. I didn't have any surgeries or anything crazy like that, and ended up losing over 100 pounds. And then through some amazing local fitness instructors here, was encouraged to become a fitness instructor. And so I did, and I did a lot of specialty classes with people who needed modifications or just not something so high intense. So people that, were a little bit overweight or the active older adult. And then Hotworx kind of fell in my lap, and I never envisioned I would be a fitness studio owner, coming from the kid that hated PE, like when I was a child. But the best part about being a fitness owner, I think that's different than a lot of other industries, is the fact that when you work out, you feel so good about yourself. So when people come in, they're not in a bad mood. They're not complaining. Like, everybody is so happy and joyous. And that's what I'm totally missing right now, is just the energy that you feel every day. And a lot of times I spend 10 to 12 hours a day in that studio, and it flies by like 2 hours. I don't take lunch breaks. It just like go, 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 go. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like 8:30 at night. So I miss that. Working out makes you feel really good about yourself. And infrared is definitely state of the art. I could preach for days about it, but I tell people, Google, that's our friend, right? Far infrared sauna therapy. And that's what we have. We have 8 of those units. And like Leanne, I have so many other members who have phenomenal testimonies and histories. And Leanne is my walking, talking local celebrity. And we have another lady by the name of Patricia. She came in literally on a walker. She was in a horrible accident, came in a walker, and now she is walking without the walker, without the cane, like doing things she never envisioned she would do. And even her physical therapist said it's because of that infrared. So that's the part of my job I love the most, is making people feel amazing about themselves.
Yeah, and I just love it because it's such a nice little kind of tight knit community. And as I show up for my classes approximately around the same time, I get to work out with some of the same people and build those. I consider them my friends. They're nice relationships, and we're in this little. People are like, "Leanne, you work out in a box that's 125 degrees." I'm like, "Yes, I love it." And it's virtual instructors, which is really great because you never have to worry about. Real people are awesome too, but the combination is great because I never have to worry about them being late. I never have to worry about them changing up the routine because they ate 4 boxes of Girl Scout cookies and they're pissed at themselves, and so they're going to take it out on us. And I have a pretty schedule that fluctuates. And so with Crystal Studio, one of the challenges that I had was, like, I really like to take yoga classes, and yoga classes are only certain times of certain days. And if you can't do it that time, then you're kind of SOL. So, if I miss my yoga class, I can do a hot row class, because there's classes every 45 minutes or every 15 minutes. And it's kind of addictive. The heat part of it is, even days when I go in there, I'm like, there's no way I can do this. I'm so exhausted. And I do, my workout and have a great conversation with the person that's in the sauna with me. And I leave just feeling like a brand new person. So it's not only about the actual infrared, but it's also about the community, the connections you make while you're there. Because I really personally believe that we're all empowered by those connections we make. And every person comes into our life for a reason. Would you agree, Crystal?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's not always a pleasant reason. Sometimes the person comes into your life for you to learn how to deal with difficult people, or how to deal with a personality that you don't have much experience with. So, but I consider everybody a blessing. But if you could, but why Hotworx? There was a million and one other things you could have done, because you teach pound classes too as well, right?
Pound and Zumba and some other formats. Hotworx. I have a very, very special angel in my life, who was my daughter, who passed away 5 years ago. And she was my biggest cheerleader. And she was always saying, "Mom, you should open your own fitness studio, teach your own classes." And I was like, yeah, no, I just didn't want that responsibility. So I was in the big clubs or the the local center. That was a rec base. So it was local people right in the area. And then one day literally popped up in my lap. And when it did, I jumped on and got some more information, and we just kind of there. And I did a lot of research on it, and infrared movie stars have them in their homes, NFL players, NBA players. So this wasn't something that was just some crazy fad. This had been around for a long time. And I feel like here in Kansas, we just we don't get that stuff, till 5 or 10 years down the line. So I kind of brought this. It is something where you get immediate results very quickly. In an intimate environment. And that's another thing I think it's really important, that not everybody feels comfortable going to the big gyms and being surrounded by women who look not like them. Everybody, is their own critic. And so it's important for people to feel empowered when they go to work out. And in order to do that, they have to feel comfortable in their environment. And Hotworx does provide that very private, intimate environment. So it just all seemed like a really good fit because I've been in that position before, and I knew that this is something that I could empower other people to feel the same way that I felt here. So, and if you do the research on infrared and the medicinal values, you get more collagen, and you feel good because it's reproducing. Infrared is subcellular, so it actually goes to your conjunctive joint tissues. So, what we call 3D training, heat, exercise, and energy, and to get the maximum results. And so with that heat all the way in the tissues, it allows your cellular body to reproduce itself and to heal itself naturally from the inside out. So you get the collagen, the reduction of cellulite. The list is on and on. It helps with high blood pressure, joint pain, back pain, diabetes, you name it. And then the easy one is the weight loss. I mean, if you're consistent, of course, 90% is in the kitchen, which 90% of us are in the kitchen right now.
Right.
For that 90%, we're going to see you back soon. You're going to see the results. And it does make you feel good when your body is naturally healing itself. So it's an addictive feeling, yes.
Hey, Crystal, if you have some extra tabs open on your computer, like Facebook or anything, because you're cutting in and out a little bit, do you have anything?
I don't.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, it's doing better now, but I thought I'd throw that out there. If you did, you could close them down. And it's, we're breaking the internet because all of us, are having to jump on the internet. So we apologize that you maybe not have been able to catch everything that Crystal shared. But yeah, I mean, I just am grateful that Crystal had the courage to bring something to Kansas that, like she said, probably could have taken, another 10 years when and if it would get here. So I don't know, how many Hotworx studios are there throughout the United States?
So we have over 100 right now that are currently up and running. And I say that lightheartedly.
Right.
But there'll be over 160 by the end of this year that are currently going to be operational. So that's exciting. It's a slow but sure process, but we've only been around now for almost 3.5 years now. So, I guess it's about 4 years, almost 4 years now. So to have so many studios in such a short amount of time, it is pretty phenomenal. So, and the nice part about it is you can go right to Hotworx, and that's with an X on the line, all over the world, because we do have locations now in Australia and Ireland.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Very cool. Yeah. So it's, we're in interesting times. So Crystal's doors aren't physically open right now, but I know her heart is open. And I know you're still taking calls of any questions that people, when they're ready, when you're open to your doors again to the public, they can set up their free class, test out the studio, see if it's a good fit for them, meet Crystal, the owner, and just, tag on to her passion for life and her energy and, her smile that will just, you'll want to go in to see her staff because they're going to know your name. And to me, that's like, the best business plan out there is when the owner of the business knows their customers' names, learns a little bit about them, and can engage them in a way that, just give it that, like next door neighbor feel. Because who doesn't like to be called by their name? Who doesn't like to be welcomed into the workout or, into the place of business, and the person actually smiles and calls you by your name. It's really the little things in life. And I think a lot of us are really getting drawn to that now. We recognize that a lot of things in our faster paced life we missed, we took for granted, probably missed them and took them for granted. And now we're realizing that, wow, the things that we miss most are just those little simple things of, that greeting by your name, going in and working out with your buddies and those things. And then, the results of the workout are, like, yeah, those are great too. So it's great that we have all these opportunities in the great world that we live in. And I see tons of people out exploring the great outdoors now. Like I say, my path has been taken over, my walking path, my bike path. But I'm so grateful to see people out there getting the fresh air, getting their exercise in, because I know without a doubt that when you're moving your body, a body in motion just feels so much better. And I know when you're in that point in your life where you're like, but I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm overweight, I just, really, Leanne? I'm like, yeah, just one foot in front of the other. And I mean, Crystal, would you agree with that? That it's, it's probably challenging when, before you lost that weight of, someone like the skinny Leanne girl telling you, oh, come on, Crystal, you can do it. You'll feel so much better.
But the funny thing is I think that everybody struggles in their own ways. And for somebody your size, Leanne, because you're so petite, even 2 or 3 pounds, 5 pounds makes a huge difference in your pants when you put them on.
Oh yeah.
Those of us who have a little bit of elasticity in our pants, we don't always notice that as much. But they don't put elasticity in tiny petite clothes. They just don't do it. So it does make a huge difference. I have a good friend of mine, Trish, who's the same way. And but we used to go to the Y every single morning. We'd work out, we'd walk, we'd make funny jokes with everybody. And but it is important that you find your cheerleader, find your connections, and don't compare yourself to somebody else. Continue to build each other up and be that person's cheerleader, and inspire them. And, the one thing I think it's the most important thing is how it defines you. Everything you do has an opportunity for growth and for learning, or you're going to basically going to allow it to destroy you. Every day you get to go to bed and reset, which I love the reset term. It's a new one that I recently was introduced to, because there are going to be days that are going to be rougher than others. And maybe you did eat that extra piece of cheesecake that you didn't want anybody to know about. That's okay. Enjoy that piece of cheesecake. Go to bed, reset, wake up the next morning, try it again. And it is a lot difficult right now, without the gyms being open per se. But my encouragement right now, really, if I had to say one thing in the world we live in, put the scales away right now. Just put them away. Put them away. Think of this, you got to put it in a positive perspective, as going on vacation in your 4 walls.
Right.
And when we all go to that all-inclusive resort, there's no scales in those rooms for 8 weeks. So I'm not saying go crazy, because you're not going to be here for 5 days. It's an extended amount of time, but try to enjoy the little things in life right now. Stop stressing over the uncontrollables. And right now there's so many uncontrollables. So find that joy in yourself. Find that joy in everything that you're doing at home, and find ways to, be inventive, creative with your children or with the people around you, or the things you have in your home. Even meditating, or it's not, increasing your cardio, is a great way to still stay in touch with yourself. And there's so much out there on the web right now, and people doing live classes, that it's an easy opportunity to still feel good about yourself without having to worry about those numbers on the scale right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great opportunity to sit back and kind of, I'm a pretty type A person, like do this, and just run fast forward to take care of myself and take care of others. But it's a great time to reset and reevaluate. And the slower pace really has felt just honestly amazing. Yeah. And it has given, all of us always say, well, we don't have time to exercise. We don't have time to play with our kids. We don't have time to cook. But now the scary thing is a lot of people have that time, and then they're freaked out because like, I don't really think now, I don't think that was the real reason why I wasn't doing things. Maybe I was just scared to death of that unknown territory that I haven't traveled in. And so I was using time as a convenient excuse. And so it's really been a great opportunity for people to really just dig a little bit deeper and go, yeah, I'm just afraid because I've never traveled that path. And that's okay, because anything unknown cause is going to cause you to be uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be a fearful. So be curious. That's my word. Be curious about it. Be curious about getting in the kitchen with your kids and trying a new recipe. And even if it's a dessert recipe, you're making it together. You're making it with love. Do your best not to have all that shame and guilt attached to everything we do. You know, just have fun with it, relax, and cherish each and every moment that's been gifted to us right now, that you can maybe clean out that that office space that is stacked to the ceiling with stuff, because stuff can be a really big impedance to, you know, a lot of our other goals. So take full advantage, get outside. You know, I know Hotworx has an app now that we can use at home and do the classes at home at whatever time we want. So that's amazing. And there's just a ton of opportunity right now to try different things that you've never tried before in the comfort of your home, so no one sees you. And even though I'm a thin person, gyms have always intimidated me. So people assume that because I'm a health coach and all this, that, you know, I just can blast in there. And, but no, I have a lot of inner, like, oh my God. But most people probably wouldn't know that, but I do share that just to know that, let people know that I'm a real life person. I have insecurities. I just choose to just go, well, isn't that interesting? Okay. We're going to run with it anyways. And you just never know what you're going to discover. You know, like I started taking improv classes, scares the living freaking daylights out of me every time I go to class. But I've learned so much about myself and just the process of, I don't know, it's just amazing. So if we just take this time and use it to our advantage and come out like, I don't know, come out as your like polished self. wouldn't that be cool?
And it's funny, Leanne, that you talk about, you know, your insecurities. One of the things I do pride myself, we have almost 400 members, and how I keep everybody's names down, it because they come in all the time. So it's constant repetition. Thank you, Jesus. So you can have, for those of you who haven't been in, you can have up to 3 people in a sauna unit for a session at a time. And of course, everybody initially, I don't want to be with anybody. I want to take it by myself. And so at first I try to accommodate that just to break the monotony, fear. But then I talk to them. You're right. I do get to know them. I want to know their personalities. What is your passion? What are your goals? How can I help you? And then when I see things happening, I try to break people out of their shells. And Leanne, you were very much that shell person. Like, I love to help people, but I do have my own insecurities. So I just need to work out by myself now. Well, so one day I said, hey, Leanne, we've got a new person here. I'm throwing her in with you. This is her name. And she was like, okay, I'm going to do this only because you're asking me. Like, she had this look like, I really don't want to, but like, I'm not going to disappoint you. And now it's almost a regular thing. And there's sometimes I'm like, I'm going to let her do it by herself just to have her me time too. But there's some days she comes in with this energy and I'm like, oh, she needs to preach today. So like, oh, I'm putting a couple people in with you. And so when people are apprehensive because they're insecure and they get in other rooms with other people who are just as insecure, trust me, movie stars have the same insecurities. You don't see them because they have amazing makeup artists and a team of designers that make them look phenomenal. So we don't have to see, you know, what's underneath all of that. So when you start discovering who you are as a person and you have somebody that pushes you, I'm a pusher.
Yep.
I'm a pusher. Then you realize, you know what, I don't have to feel insecure because everybody has the same insecurities no matter what we look at. And when everybody comes to that realization, the most amazing thing happens, and it's called empowerment.
Yes.
You have now empowered each other because you've allowed yourself to go that direction. And the only way you do that is realizing you're not the only one. We always think, I'm the only one. I'm the only one. No.
Right.
Every single person has insecurities. When you open up and you realize everybody else does too.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing. And so, I walk by and within 5 minutes, all I can hear is cackling all the way to the front desk. And so then, of course, because they give me a hard time for putting them in rooms with strangers, I obnoxiously walk by and open the door like, is everything okay in here? Of course, they know I'm being obnoxious. The first thing I get is, shut the door, Crystal. I'm like, okay.
You're letting out the heat, girlfriend.
Right.
Shut the door.
I keep walking by and I'm like are you guys okay? They're like, oh my God, yes. Because it's almost that realization, like Crystal was right. I'm not going to tell her. We're having fun. Leave us alone. So I think that's what makes my studio different than any place else, is that I do make people feel empowered, because it's a beautiful feeling. And when people are empowered, they feel good. They come back. They feel accepted and loved. And I give sweaty hugs. People are like, oh, I'm sweaty, but they tell me something amazing. I don't care.
Right.
We're hugging. Like, that's a great feeling. And once again, making them feel like everybody matters, because everybody matters.
Exactly. And I love it because, I'm my business name is Go Big with Leanne, empowerment through connection. So you just tagged onto all of that. And it's amazing when you put someone in with me, sometimes I'm like, oh man, but I'm at the end, they're a gift to me and I'm a gift to them. And it's interesting. They always say, oh man, you're just what I needed today. And I always tell them back, you know what, you're just what I needed today as well. So there's just something magical about, that the connections that can be made at Hotworx. Now, some people that are members of Crystal's studio are probably like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I just go in and exercise, but that's okay too. Yeah.
Oh no. At this point, if they've been with me longer than a month, they're like, she does that to me too. Yep. I know that. I do this to everybody.
Yeah. So I don't know who's watching live, but if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. Paul, who's graciously sitting behind the scenes to allow the internet to work better. Paul, if you have any questions for Crystal, just type them in the chat and I'll ask her. Because we want to be respectful of your time. We've kept you on here almost 30 minutes, but hey, we're having coffee with each other this morning and it's amazing. Okay. And I'm so grateful that Crystal was willing to show up today and, share her passion for health and wellness and just share her smile, because I believe a smile can heal anybody in a day if we just pass them on. And in a lot of places, people are wearing masks, out and about. But, I still smile underneath mine because people can see it in your eyes. So they can still see in your eyes that you're smiling. So even if you're in a place in your life today that you have to wear a mask all day long, or you're choosing to wear a mask, put that smile underneath it, because people will feel it. They'll see your eyes kind of wrinkle up. They'll know what's underneath there. So it's just the world is an amazing place if we allow it to be. So it's all about perspective. And so at the end of my interviews, I like to do a little improv exercise. So, and I didn't warn Crystal of this.
I'm saying improv every day. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah. So yeah, he's going back to the police force in the UK. He's going to volunteer. And so, I think he's saying that, like, yeah, you have to improvise every day. We all are improvising, I think, as we go through this, but this is just a quick, it's called 5 things. So I'm going to ask you just a random question, and then you're going to list off 5 things, and they don't have to be true or whatever, just have fun with it. And then you can ask me a question, whatever question you like, and I'll respond with my 5 things, and then we'll wrap it up for today. And then Paul and I will be back next week. I'm not sure if we're going to have a guest or if we're just going to be the Paul and Leanne show, but okay, what are your 5 favorite foods?
5 favorite foods. Spumoni ice cream. Oh my gosh, right? Like right off the top of mangoes. Well, that would be number 1, would have been mango.
Okay.
So mango, spumoni ice cream, banana pancakes, a great cheeseburger, and French fries with mayonnaise.
5 things. All right. Very good. So now you can ask me any question.
Any question. What are your 5 go-to songs when you want to feel phenomenal?
Oh, that is the worst question to ask me. I don't listen to music. So, okay, so songs in my head, songs that I make up, Baby Shark, any Kenny Rogers song, and the song of the birds outside.
Oh yeah, that's a
5 things. Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
That's a good one. Open the windows and listen to
and the wind chimes. Yeah. So 6 things. Wind chimes, the birds and the wind chimes. Yeah. I'm not a big, I listen to music, but I couldn't tell you who sings anything. So that was a perfect improv question though, because I'm like, she stumped me. Yeah. So then I had to be creative and go, oh, okay, this is what I do. But, let me see if we can drag Paul back on here and see if we keep the connection so we can finish with the 3 of us. Hey, Paul.
How you doing?
Hey, it's like magic. The internet's working with 3 heads.
I'm just saying I'm trying to sit in the right position here without trying,
Yeah.
So there's no heavy rock in your music then?
No heavy rock. No,
Okay.
no.
Oh, what's your 5 songs? Give me 2. Give me 2 songs.
Oh, 2 songs. I was just trying to think. I listen to it all the time. I can't think of it.
Sing it.
I've got no, definitely not. It was 2 male singers singing together. Hall and Oates.
Oh, Hall and Oates.
It's one of their famous ones. I don't know.
That's all right.
But I like too many. Seriously, I like loads.
Very good.
Ones, everything.
Awesome.
No country though.
No country. Oh.
I like the mild country most of them. I don't like, I mean, it's a bit near the mark about people leaving their wives and all this stuff.
Yeah, I was raised on good old-fashioned country music. Yeah. Well, Paul, any parting words for our audience today?
I have actually.
Okay.
It was a fitness tip. I'm going to look at it again. Yeah. Only do workouts you enjoy. Don't do workouts that you don't enjoy. Don't do workouts because someone is talking you into it. Do what you want. Okay. Yep. Unless you're a professional athlete, then you have to do what you're told.
Right. But sometimes to know what you want, Paul, you have to try different things before you know what you want. Right? Yep.
You must try everything.
Yep. And then you'll find the ones that you like. Yeah. Well, very good. Paul, Crystal, everyone that joined us live or catching the replay, we appreciate all of you, and we hope you have a fantastic weekend. Dig it into whatever you want to get curious about in life, and we'll be here exploring, health and wellness and all good things. And maybe Crystal will come back and she can talk about a bazillion things, so we might have her on again. So thank you, everyone, and just make it a great day.
Bye, y'all. Have a great day.
Bye. Bye.